Everybody, I am doing the Blindfold challenge that is hosted by Tracy on Not Afraid of Color. I am coming to you with a pre-recorded video. I unfortunately do not have two camera capabilities, so I wanted you to see that I do have my blindfold ready to go. I'm going to wanted to get this done, my intro done so that I could go and flip over. We're doing this. It's a hop in recognition of International Disabilities Day. You can head over to Not Afraid of Color YouTube channel to see the introduction and to see all of the hop. And I hope you join along. This is the first time I'm doing something like this, and I will see what shakes out. All right, I will see you once I get my camera set up. Okay, I'm gonna set my timer. Alexa, set a timer for 30 minutes.
Good afternoon, Candy. 30 minutes, starting now.
All right, we're gonna go for it. I am pulling my blindfold down. I have put a couple of things on my desk to show, so hopefully I'm on camera. And I've got some things set up here. I am just kind of gonna go for this. I have a couple of different stencils here. I have one that I know has like lots of little tiny dots. I thought they were different. And I'm gonna just go for inking. And I didn't want to go too far away, so I didn't put my camera too far up. I hope that's okay with everybody. And I got some of my inks ready to go here. I have my little inky thing here, and we're just gonna go with, one of the things we had to do was ink blend and stencil. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab this, and we're just gonna stencil over the front and see how many of these we can make. I'm actually gonna do this kind of in a little bit of a, I'm gonna set it right here on top of this stencil. I'm gonna do a couple of these at a time so that I can go, because I feel like I made these are fairly simple cards per se, since we were able to get a few things ahead of time. We need to, like I said, stencil, stamp, use ephemera. We are not to use any sharp instruments. So that's why we have some things die cut out ahead of time. I am using a variety of products. I just grabbed some stuff from my stash. Some of it's current, some of it's not. I have some stencils, like I said, from Brutus, Monroe. And I just grabbed some fun, I felt like my ink pad was floppy there. Okay, so I think, is there another couple? That's all right, we'll just do those to start. I'm gonna go ahead and cover this back up just because. And I'm gonna put this back on top, and I'm gonna go ahead and put it right up top. Oops, I knocked something over on the floor. I hope it wasn't something I needed. What is that? I am going to have to take a quick peek just because I have a dog and I don't want him to eat anything, so. All right. I am not peeking at any of my stuff. I have my blindfold still on, gently, so I can. I had some spray that knocked over on the floor, and like I said, I did not want my dog to eat it. Okay, so I have some repositional tape there. All right, we're gonna move these off to the side here a little bit, and I'm gonna try to do, I've got a little bit of squeaky clean here, and I have off to the side a little, just in case I have a little extra ink blending on my, try to clean up just a tad. I'm gonna wipe my fingers off with my little, I think I could just see the end of my nose here, so I'd readjust that here. Stick that. I don't want to stick that off to the side here. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back through. Let's see, what do I got here? This was my stencil. I'll put that up here. And then I chose a old label die from Spellbinders because I figured had this point, so it was a little easier for me to find the top, because I am going to attempt, I have this yet, we'll do that in a minute. I am going to attempt to stamp my greeting. Now, I did have a little jig prepared up. I have some Stellar ink from Simon Hurley. I have my Misty, and I set it all up already with the sentiment. This is from Unity. And then I have some repositional tape, and I have the negative in there. I'm just going to stick this in here. Now, I am going to do some, you know, actual regular. So all I'm going to do is grab my point, and I'm just going to see if I can figure out by feel if I can get it in here or not. I didn't know for sure if I could do this or not. I figured I would give it a good old college try, because it is I thought this would be the most exciting, fun part. So, because I feel like it's in there enough. And then I just have to make sure that when I set my sentiments off to the side, that they're fitting the right direction, so they're not upside down. And I'm going to use Stellar ink. I'm going to try stamping them down twice. Just want to make sure that I don't get too much of my inky fingers on there. I'm going to go ahead and pull that out. Okay, I'm going to set that. Just trying to see where is everything. I'm going to set it right down here. You probably can't see it off camera, but I've got it set right down at the foot. Go ahead, we're going to do this one again. Like I said, just experimenting. So my name is Candy, and I go by Sugar Cards by Candy on YouTube and Instagram if you're looking for me. This is the hard part here. Can't find the end of it. There we go. I got another one right here, so I'm just going to set them right up. I'm just using my fingers to feel. I don't remember how many of these I stamped. I'm just going to do a few, and then we can go back and stamp some more if we... Because I do want to do some more ink blending. Oops, stuck my finger right in that ink pad. I will say with the Stellar inks, that's one thing that's kind of crazy, is that you can get your ink on your fingers very easily because they're that foam pad. I really like them. I just got my second set in the mail yesterday, so I can't wait to play with them. I think I'm going to cover it up this time. And then, as you can see for my jig, I just used the negative piece so that I could try to set my pieces inside. I like to do that when I'm doing multiple stamping. I have 2 left here, so let's see if we can get those in here. And that way, I mean, it's a little, like I said, a little bit of a cheat, but I can also kind of fit it in there. I hear my dog. Hope he's behaving. I didn't have a helper this time, and I was not able to do this live stream. I'd love to have done it live streamed, but all right, this one doesn't seem like it wants to fit in there. Why? Okay. There we go. Get my ink pad again. I don't even want to know what my Misty looks like. So I really appreciate y'all being able to, invited to join along with this hop. It's been kind of a fun play thing for me to play with and kind of figure out what to do. I love making Christmas cards. I love kind of being challenged. One of my favorite things is when people ask me to use products during my lives. I do live on Friday nights on my channel. And people are like, hey, how do you use this? Do you know how to use, Candy, can you use this? And I'm like, absolutely. Or even during my lives, people will sometimes say, hey, I've got this. Do you know what it is? So any links I have below will be affiliate links. That just means that I get a little small commission if you place an order using one of my links, and I appreciate that. Oh, see, I think that fit in there nice. decided part of the challenge here was to see how many card fronts we could make in 30 minutes. And I feel like I'm going very, very quickly. So we will see if I can do this again. Okay, so now I hope I have them all upright. And I'm going to go ahead and move this off to the side. And then I'm going to keep these right here. I'm going to wipe my fingers off. And then the next thing I have is I cut down some old Christmas paper. And what I did is I cut them in half. I'm going to make some mini slim card fronts. And I put a little piece of Post-it note tape on top because of the pattern. So I would know which direction was up. Instead of making a little jig. And then I have, this is where it's going to be kind of messy. I have a stamp here. Here it is. And I have, because I'm choosing pattern paper instead of white paper, I have this, hold on, I'm just making sure everything's situated here. I'm going to put these, I have, like I said, I have a piece of, I don't know if I'm going to use both the stencils because I have this stamp. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to grab this. And this is Brutus Monroe Alabaster ink. And I'm just going to I don't know, I may even need to have re-inked this. Go ahead and stamp this down. And I'm going to do this very distressed way. I'm going to twist it around because I have my little piece of tape up here. I'm actually going to take that piece of tape off and stamp down, stick that tape back on. And then I think what we'll do is we'll go ahead and start making our cards, and then we'll come back and do the rest of it. So I also cut down, just going to move them over a little bit, some little strips of paper. These I probably will not get straight because I can't get them straight when I don't have my eyes closed. When I can see. So I'm going to go ahead and try to put a little tape on here. And then I'm going to grab this. And then, like I said, this is the top, right? Well, it's kind of the top. I'm going to go ahead and I cut them to fit so that maybe I could go ahead and put them on and fit. Because I don't necessarily like my paper to go over the edge. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I'm going to go ahead and take that little piece off. Now I've got my little scent, and I just tipped them all, didn't I? So this, like I said, I may be making a hot mess here, but that's part of the challenge. I don't have a lot of die cuts right now that I can find that I could do for like letters that you might have seen others use. So I'm going to go ahead and we're just going to stick this down, right? Just kind of feeling edge to edge here. And I've got this. And then in my little buckets up here, I'm going to go ahead and feel around till I can find them. I should have looked one more time before. I have some ephemera pieces that I bought. These are just some Tim Holtz pieces. And then I have another little container here, which I need to find. That's the hard one that I can't find. Nope. No. This is more, oh yes, here's the ephemera. This is my sentiment, my other sub-sentiment, right? Nope, that's not it. That's ephemera, this is ephemera. All right, sorry about that. That's part of this challenge, right? Where did I put it? I forgot where I put it. Here they are. Nope. They're in a little container here. I don't want to cheat or anything, so I'm just going to feel around and look for it. Sorry, there we go. Okay, so then I have some sub-sentiments here that I already pre-stamped because I wanted to use some gold. It's Christmas, and they say Merry on them. I already stuck a piece of And now I forgot which side I put this. I think this is on the Y side. So that means that's about all I remember. I should have put them up on the W side. I think it goes this way. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to just stick it down right in here. I'll pull that little piece off. We've got Merry Christmas. And then I'm going to grab a piece of my ephemera. And I did stick some double-sided adhesive on some of these. These are just from Tim Holtz. This is the part that's going to make it a mess because I'm just going to have to throw these little pieces everywhere. And I can't get the other one off. There we go. And I'm going to do this. And I've got this little piece here, and I think I'm just going to stick it on. All right, so here's card number 1. I hope it looks good. The other thing I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and set this down. I have a box off to my right here. At the very end, we're going to spritz them all with some gold spray, but I want to keep going first. Okay, so now we have our next one. Here's the top. And here is my embossing ink, or my red ink. I just probably messed that all up. This is just, I love the distressed look, so go ahead and I'm going to take that off. And now, because this is wet, this is a wetter ink, it can make a mess. So I just want you to be prepared for that part of it. And then I'm going to go ahead and grab this. Hopefully I've got this the right direction. I did realize when I was cutting these that they were a little bit off. I probably should use some liquid glue. I'm not sure where I put my liquid glue. I wanted to make sure my desk was nice and cleaned off so I didn't accidentally knock things over or all that good stuff. Okay. And then we've got this. I'm going to flip this over here. Hopefully I'm not making too big of a mess with that pigment ink. I probably should have put a piece of paper down first. And then I'm going to just do is feel up towards the top and feel side to side. Okay, and then very carefully. Oh, see, I knocked those all out, didn't I? I did. That's okay. And then this should be the Y, right? They might be upside down. If they're upside down, they're upside down. Grab another piece of ephemera. I have all sorts of little ephemera pieces in here, so I'm not sure. They're different pieces. I pulled out all the holly and poinsettias because I thought that would be the easiest to use instead of, you could die cut things out too. I'm just going to go ahead. We're just going to put it down here. All right, there's a second one. All right, next piece. And here's my ink pad. I know that at least I know this is a smaller ink pad, and so I'm getting most of the ink on my stamp. And then I'm going to turn this around again. Like I said, take this little tap off, stamp it down. Quick, grab my fingers and wipe them off. Trying not to make sure I don't set that down on top of any projects. And then go ahead and grab the next piece. Fortunately, they all coordinate, so if I did get it upside down, it would still coordinate. They don't have to be matchy-matchy. I liked the red better for this side when I was cutting these down. Ooh. Okay. I am guessing that I broke this, so we're going to have to switch to a liquid glue. Set this off to the side over here somewhere. I know I have a liquid glue sitting on my desk right here. Just going do that. And I'll just feel it. I put it in a container. Nope. There it is. Okay. All right. So then I need to find another one of these pieces. Hope I'm even getting glue on them. And it is a very snowy day today here in Iowa. I live in the northeast corner of Iowa on the banks of the Mississippi River, like literally. I have 1 block away from the Mississippi River. And we are supposed to get a ton of snow tonight. So far, okay, so I can feel that piece. So that should be the Y. Go ahead, we're going to put it up here again. I just took the dog for a quick walk before I decided to start filming, so he would maybe be a little calmer and not whine too much. Coming up for me, I will have on my channel, I have a 12 days of Christmas Advent calendar. I think there's actually 13, but I am beginning to film those videos now, and they will go live starting, I think, the 12th of December. I can't remember, the 12th or 13th. So if you subscribe to my channel, you would be able to see those every day. And I will also link my blog. I just restarted that in the description box below if you'd like to see what I have coming up. And as I've been signing up for some events and some other items, some summits coming up. And you can also see a recap if you miss one of my videos. That way you can see what's going on for me. And so I will link that in the description box. All right, now we need to find, okay. And then I need to find my glue again. I don't even know if I'm attaching any glue on here. Gonna stick that down. What are your guys' favorite holiday traditions? I will tell you that now that I've officially had snow, ooh, there's a lot of glue on that. See if I can kind of wipe some of that off. Now that it has officially snowed, one of my favorite traditions is to watch White Christmas. So I can officially watch that because Thanksgiving is over and it has snowed. But that will probably be maybe next weekend. I've got lots of stuff I got to do yet this weekend after I am done with this and other items. I don't remember if I stamped this one, guys. I don't remember. I know I didn't put this piece on there. So we're going a little backwards. Let's get this piece on here first. I lost train of my thoughts. So I maybe I prepped a little bit too much for this, but I wasn't 100% sure what I should do. And I thought Christmas cards because it's right before Christmas, and mini slim because I wasn't sure. And mini slims are one of my favorites. All right, so I'm just kind of edging that edge to edge. Reaching for another piece of ephemera. Feel like I got all the big pieces. Not sure what happened to all the little pieces. All right, well, here's another big piece of ephemera. I'm curious to know the crafter math on my desk when this is all over. Okay. And this one is kind of bigger, so he's going to kind of go down here in the corner, hopefully not covering too much of my sentiment. All right. I think I have one more sentiment stamped out here. Yes. So let's get this page done. I hope, I know there are several lives going on with the hop today. I am, like I said, a pre-recorded video. It just fit better in my schedule for the day if I did pre-recorded. So please hop along and catch the lives or the replays. You know, thumbs up everybody, follow them if you like to see more content from them. That always helps all of the creators. I am excited to watch them during their live streams. If I can, I'm going to try to go to my craft room and do some crafting and watch them, follow along and try to chat. I'm going to put just a little bit more glue. I don't know if I'm doing too much or not. Okay. Oh, before I do that, okay, let's stick that down. Let's get this piece. I like this piece first. I wanted to make a couple of layers. I thought that would be fun. All right. Get this piece on here like this. And I thought it would be way too hard to do any kind, obviously, of gems or bling. You can't really see that. So I feel like that just fell off. It did, didn't it? Yes, it did. I didn't put enough glue on it. Okay, we'll flip that up back upside down. I don't know which side this is up now. It feels like this side maybe had the glue. Hopefully I got glue on it now. Grab this and we'll stick this back on. I think it'll be fun to actually send some of these cards to some family members. I have some crafter family members who will think that it's fun and explain, you know, I mean, the nice part about making these fun Christmas cards is that I can explain that I did a live with them or a YouTube video with them, and then it was for International Disabilities Days. I'm sorry if I got that wrong. All right, need to find another sentiment. I knocked them all over the table. There's one. And send them out, and that's all that good stuff. I have some really good crafty friends who would probably appreciate this too, and they'll probably save it and keep it as one of a memento. Okay. I think the hardest part is not knowing how much time you have left on your timer, since this will be an unedited video. I mean, I have to laugh because I literally have my eyes closed and I have this blindfold on. Okay, I'm going to grab my splat box here and hopefully get this on camera because, like I said, I put some stuff here. I'm going to just kind of lay them out. This is one of my favorite and it's going to be fine. This is one of my favorite products of all time. It's the Ornament Gold Chroma Mist from Brutus Monroe. I love it to add sparkle. I'm just going to shake it up, and then all I'm going to do is I'm going to feel, there's the nozzle, and I'm going to let them go off to the side to dry. And I'm actually going to ask Alexa how much time is left. Alexa, how much time is left?
You have 2 minutes left.
Oh, I have 2 minutes left. That's pretty cool. All right, well, let's see if we can do some other, we'll start kind of getting ready a little bit more here, because even though we have 2 minutes left, we can do a few more pieces. Ooh, I just got glue, or that all over my fingers. I lost my ink pad, and I just dumped something else over. Where did my ink pad? Where did it go? Well, maybe we won't get any more done because I lost my white ink pad. Nope. There it is. All right. All right. I'll stamp out the rest of my backgrounds anyway, and I will make them for some extra cards afterwards. Awesome. So I'm going to put that one up there because I think I have at least one more background here. Yep. I like the cling mount stamp because I can put it right on my desk. And then I can just kind of pick it up and stamp it down. It's one of my favorite ways to use cling mount stamps as well, because you can kind of do that. Okay, I'm going to put that off to the side. I know I'm not going to have time to fit this whole card finished, but we'll grab, I'm going to grab 2 of these. Hopefully I can find my blending brush. There it is. And I'm going to grab a stencil. I don't know which of the 2 stencils. This looks like it might be the right one. Put it over the top of it. And just blend away. Get the pieces ready. All right. That is, Alexa, stop. That is my 30-minute timer. So I'm going to go ahead and take my blender off and see how I did. Let's see here. I didn't do too bad. I'm going to pull them all up. Oops, let's cover up our ink pad. I didn't do too bad other than the mess that I've made everywhere. There's my other ephemera. Can't see a lot of the stamping, the white stamping, I guess, on there. But we did do some stamping with our sentiments, which they're not terrible. This one probably is the one that didn't, but I appreciate you guys all so much. Give me thumbs up, you know, if you enjoy this, and I will see you guys next time. You guys have a great rest of your day. Bye.